Hi everyone, it's October 20th and I wanted to make a short video to go over Logitech's Q3 20 earnings, which came out late last night. And the stock is up 16% today off of that news. In my opinion, they had nothing short of a blowout earnings this quarter. And about a week ago, I made a video on this channel, which I'll link below if you haven't checked that out. And I talked about how I think the market wasn't really appreciating Logitech's the demand for their products, and also the kind of trend of premiumization of PC accessories. And I think for the most part, these theses kind of came true and came to fruition in Q3, as well as some others. So in their press release, and you see that their largest segment, gaming, grew by a whopping 85%. Okay, and some of their other segments, smaller segments, actually eclipsed that quite a bit. Like their webcam segment grew by 256%. Their video and tablets both grew by over 140%. Right, so a stellar quarter. I also replaced or updated my model to show the latest data, right, for Q3. So I think they mentioned this on the earnings call, but this is the first time ever that they've exceeded over $1 billion in quarterly sales. Came in at 1.25 billion, 75% year-over-year increase. That's just amazing. 60% over Q2. Their gross margin expanded by 7 points. Their operating margin expanded by 15 points to 26%. Their ROIC jumped to 33%. It's almost looking like it's like a different company, just with how well they did. Like their sales and profitability just exploded this quarter. So like me, you may be wondering that now that the stock is up 15% on the first day, is it time to maybe take some profits? And I think there's a few considerations that I was thinking about. Number one, the stock might be entering into a period of consolidation. What I mean by that is there's some factors. Like number one, so the analysts who had the stock at a lower price target, the sell side analysts, they're kind of forced, they may be forced to revise their target upwards, right? Because if their target's at 70, now that Logitech's 90, they're gonna have to either raise it or have a really good reason for why they think the stock's not is gonna go back to 70. And that's a catalyst. If analysts, sell side analysts have to raise their targets, that's a bullish catalyst. Secondly, there's kind of so Logitech's not like Apple or Microsoft where everyone follows the stock. It's a mid-cap stock, not super heavily followed. So because of a huge earnings beat and this huge increase in stock price, it's going to lead people who are going to look at the stock for the first time or revisit the stock. So that's going to, maybe people are going to form their thesis or have a kind of a new appreciation for the stock, and they might buy it. And also FOMO, right? Like usually when stocks go up a lot, the momentum just kind of carries it forward. So the second reason that you want to consider is that Q3 is not even historically like their strongest quarter. Q4, which is coming up, it has historically been Logitech's strongest quarter in terms of free cash flow generation because it's the holidays. So I expect them to have a very strong Q4 just because historically they have. If you're at all concerned about valuations, actually their EV to free cash flow actually decreased with the latest earnings because they generated so much cash flow in Q3 that their multiple compressed rather than expanded. Even though the stock is up 15%, their multiple went from 31 times to 27 times, actually experienced multiple compression. So the stock is actually cheaper than it was based on information you had in Q2. To be nitpicky, the only negative I found was that they had a use of working capital in Q3. I dug into it. It's because their accounts receivable went up quite a bit. It just means that they made a bunch of sales and people haven't paid them yet. They might pay them next quarter. So their AR went up. So yeah, I mean, I promise this will be a short video because just the earnings update. So check out my longer video on Logitech, which I made a week ago if you haven't. And thanks. And if you find this helpful, please subscribe and good night.